Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Captain Quasar, and welcome back to another live stream. I'm trying to do, now that I've hit 1,000 subscribers, we really want to up the output. So I'm gonna try my best to start doing more, I guess, supplementary streams in between all of the H3 waiting rooms. Want to make sure that I keep, keep on keeping on, as they say. But we have a few things to talk about today. Some updates on the Raja Jackson assault case, battery case. I guess we'll see how it turns out. And then we haven't talked about this before, but the case with David. It just sounds so. It feels so weird just saying David, the rapper. It's a singer. He's just a singer, right? I don't know. I don't listen to any of his music. But we I've been wanting to talk about it a little bit, but I've been waiting for more updates to kind of come out. But then there was an update from Trap More Ross, the YouTuber who also has the account Trap Lore Ross. He made documentaries about King Von and a bunch of other things. But he says that David might have a second body, so we'll talk about that. Which little weird a way to say it, I'll say. Thank you for the congrats. We're at 1,000 now. We're just gonna keep on going up. That's the goal. The David situation is insane. But first, I want to go over the Raja Jackson thing because it'll be a little bit quicker. The video with about David is 20 something minutes. This is only 8. And basically, for those who don't remember, Raja Jackson viciously assaulted and battered Psycho Stu after being, I guess, pushed by his chat on kick.com. Or is it kick.tv? I don't know, whatever it's called. Don't really want to give it a shout out anyways, but but basically he went to a wrestling event with one of his friends. Got disrespected by a drunk, some drunk wrestler, and thought that the best way to handle it was to, in the ring, pick him up, slam him down, and then while he was knocked out, punch him in the face about 20 something times. Definitely insane and crazy. But I think that more than just it being an act of violence, I think it is kind of interesting to look in the dynamics of, to look at it from the dynamics, from the perspective of, I can't think of any words right now. Oh no, something started playing. From the perspective of parasocial relationships. Sorry, I don't know why I couldn't think of that word. But the most recent update about this is that Raja Jackson has been arrested. He was kicked off Kick. He was banned on Kick right after the event happened, and they basically haven't put out any statements or anything about it since. They kind of just swept it under the rug, said this happened on our platform, but who cares? Worse has happened on there, right? But now he is in jail facing a felony charge, with his bail amount set at $50,000. Yeah, Psycho Stewart really got him viciously. Hey, bro. I wouldn't want that happening to me. That's all I know. Audible cartoon blinking. Let me just hit this one. That's me trying to think of something new. I feel like that's way too loud. But yeah, so Raja has been arrested. There was a video on TMZ. I don't think I can play it because TMZ does copyright claims and takedowns and stuff, but I'll just show this image from it. It's so funny watching him walk out as he got arrested because he basically told the person recording, like, what are you recording for? And everybody is just talking about, like, this dude might want to move because $50,000, like, he could bond out. He could bond out pretty probably relatively easy. I mean, given his circumstance, his dad said that he had the money waiting, right? He looks like a more jacked Andrew Tate. This is he's that one guy that used to do pranks where he would go around and pretend to be Russian and be like, "Oh, yes." He'd like have like tattoos all over him and stuff and be like, "Ah, yes. Come with me. Give me what are you doing? I have a package," and like do stuff like that. But now he does the Scaling Up podcast where they're basically just talking about the Roger Jackson stuff because they actually are friends with Doug Malo, the Epic. But I guess let's just get into it because it's all we got, right? But this is breaking. Roger Jackson arrested. What he's facing next.
Episode 37 of the Scaling Up podcast. Make sure to like this video as well as hype it using YouTube's new hype feature. And if you are watching this and you have not yet subscribed, then what are you even doing? Now, it is Thursday, September 18th at nighttime, and Doug was already going to sleep.
Yes.
You know, we were just going about our day, and then we heard the news, and we're like, Doug, you can't go to sleep. We're coming over.
TMZ whitelisted H3 and gave permission H3 can play their videos. Doesn't that apply here too? I wish. Give me a license. Come on. I get it through osmosis.
Over here.
Oh. Premature ejaculation.
To do exactly that.
You know it. His pants are so hydrophobic, it all just rolled right off.
Oh. Premature ejaculation.
To do exactly that.
Yeah.
We're here to milk this because, in case you guys haven't heard.
Oh, never mind. Now it looks like, not only did it look like he came all over his leg, now it's got a little stain right there. They weren't as hydrophobic as I thought. That just means he spilled a lot of milk on himself. But it's lactose-free milk. Fat-free, lactose-free. What's the point?
Roger Jackson has been arrested.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, I've been waiting to say this since August 23rd. He went 3, 2, 1.
Straight to jail. That was nice.
This is lactose-free shit.
I'm dieting right now. So Raja has been booked on a felony charge. No other details are given at the moment. And 2 weeks ago, we gave you a 100% confirmation on here. First, Doug told you that he was talking to detectives. And as a matter of fact, do you have any more insight on some of the...
There is a lot of thigh going on here, you're right. They got to show off the goods, you know?
those conversations with detectives? Why did this take so long? Do you know?
From what I'm hearing, and what I've talked to detectives and other people around us, basically the state took it over and their state charges, and what I think they had to look at was Stu's recovery, everything that was involved, the fact that LAPD is pretty lax on charging anybody. If you look at that and then you look at having the state taking it over, I know for certain, even without Stu pressing charges, they would have charged us for multiple misdemeanors for violence in front of a child. That's a misdemeanor. All the children that were there. Then of course there's the battery, assault battery, and then the intent behind it all, which will elevate everything as a premeditation. So I think that's exactly what we're looking at, is like a premeditated battery.
So is that all that you've heard from detectives? That's the route they're taking it?
Yeah, that's about what I know so far from what they've talked to my friends about or talked to me. They talked to me like the day after or 2 days after it happened, and then they've been talking to other parties involved, and they've been coming back and talking to me. So that's what I've gathered so far.
All right, and I know you don't want to talk about this too much in detail, but Stu didn't want to press charges, so that's why it took a little bit longer too.
I would say maybe that could be the issue, but the state, or there was enough evidence on video where they could charge. They don't need anybody to press charges. So.
Well, yeah, because he said they're trying to, the state is pressing charges on him for the crime, and that's like the thing people always need to remember about. Obviously, in this case, it was obviously going to go to the state. He did it on film, but when you get the police involved, it does put it into their like at some level their control, to where depending on the circumstances, it doesn't matter if you decide to press charges or not, and they can just choose for you and do it themselves. Because I saw a video, or it must have been a couple months ago at this point, but it was a video of a guy trying to he was trying, I guess this doesn't really really make sense in the context of what I'm trying to talk about, because what I was going to say is that he tried to get charges pressed on charges put on somebody else, but then after the police like investigated the case, realized that he was the one that needed to get the assault charges. But I realized that that's just them doing an investigation. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. So, oh, never mind. It does. See, my brain plays mysterious tricks on me. The reason I brought it up is because in that moment, the guy who was initially wanting to press charges said, okay, I don't want to get a ticket, so I don't want to press charges anymore. Can I just apologize and we'll be like all good? And the police officer then said, it doesn't matter. I've seen this, and now it's my, it's my duty to give you a ticket now for disorderly conduct. I think it was. I don't even remember what it was specifically. I think it was disorderly conduct. I think that he told him he could have gotten an assault charge. I'm not going to go into the details because it's kind of stupid, but you get the point that I'm trying to make. The police can decide whether or not charges are going to be placed, even if you don't decide on a civil case. Ooh, bars?
Even if he wanted to or not, it still would have been.
It was irrelevant at that point.
Yeah, exactly. And I know that from my friend that's a detective.
No, yeah, there were a lot of children in the audience. It was pretty insane. And the thing was, it wasn't even like they were out of view of Raja when he did this. Like, as he was leading up to it, they were literally off to the side of him. Like, he totally could have seen some kids and realized, like, these kids are about to watch a man get, at the very least, beaten to a pulp. Like, you know what I mean? Even if you want to be like, oh, it wasn't technically attempted murder. Because, like, I don't know. I think that he genuinely just, I don't know if he wanted to kill him, but he definitely wanted to do as much damage as possible. And I think he accomplished that, if we're being honest. Bro was choking on his blood and teeth. Not a way you want to go out. And then got pinned. And then he got pinned. Crazy work.
And then with Stu, like I said from the beginning, he most likely won't want to press charges, and that's where we are left at, is everybody around it. You know, he hasn't made an official statement yet, so I don't want to speak for him. But from what I know, that's the case.
Right. So he had a $50,000 bail. So don't be surprised if he's out in the morning or if he's already out and we just haven't heard about it yet. That's usually how these.
From what I was looking into, I couldn't see that he has already gotten out. I was going to put that in the title if he had been, but it didn't. From everything I saw, it looks like he is still in custody. I don't know if maybe Rampage is just trying to save face. Like, it would look bad if I bailed him out immediately.
Things go. The process is the punishment. His process is just starting, and it's going to be a very, very long process. It might be a while before he gets sentenced to something, but you believe it's going to happen, right?
Oh, yeah, guaranteed. I'm getting ready for that. It'll be good healing for everybody involved in this. Hopefully, Raja getting bailed out means that he'll get checked.
I'm really wondering if he has another lizard, like, reptile eye on the other bicep. So when he flexes, he has two reptile eyes. Kind of hard, can't lie.
To a mental health care or some type of treatment before trial, because like I said, that's one of the big issues I think it needs to be.
Now that's tough. I see you.
Addressed as his trauma, because he wasn't there that day, his eyes, his everything. Plus the fact that you were able to be pushed into doing that shows like some type of mental capacity that you could be pushed into almost murdering somebody. You know, nobody should be able to just goat you into doing that. You know, that's a fragile state of mind.
I definitely agree with this, and I think that's why the conversation is necessary about the parasocial relationships on both ends, because he was pushed by the chat because he, you know, for some reason cares about their opinion of him and stuff. Thinking that he's a bitch and thinking that, you know, he lets people walk all over him or whatever. But I think that it's important then to show that, like, it goes both ways in parasocial relationships. People always talk about the aspect of people too heavily getting invested into a creator they watch, but the creators can also get just as invested into their audiences. And it, in the case of somebody who's mentally unstable, can be driven to do insane things. on someone else's whim, basically.
So hopefully that gets addressed, because just putting him
Guy on the right is roided to the gills. Yeah, just a bit. Just a little Tren and, you know, and Test and a couple other things. I don't know what it is. What do I take? Don't know. Get it from a guy that hangs out behind the gym. He's got a van. He lets me shoot up right before we go in.
in jail to rot there will make him a worse human being. And then let's say he goes in there, he gets help, he gets mental treatment, he could actually come out and help other people not do what he did, and he could be a force for good at that point. So like that's my hope, is the best possible outcome is that, that's what I'm looking at least. That's my perspective. And I know everyone's allowed to feel different, and I don't hate them for feeling different.
Right. And some people on the last video were starting to say that, oh, you guys are milking this. It's been 3 weeks and you're still talking about it. Well,
are you guys not going to drink this milk afterwards? Because you should put the cap back on. Even if you're not going to put it back in the fridge immediately, I think you should probably put it back in the fridge immediately. But if you are going to just leave it here for 10 minutes or whatever while you guys make this video, at least put the cap back on. It's just something is off-putting about that to me.
if you thought we were milking it,
It makes me think that they are going to drink more of it, because what was the point of getting the specifically fat-free, lactose-free milk? They had to look for that. That wasn't like the first option.
before the milking just starts now.
No, actually, Psycho Stu isn't in a coma still. He actually is out, conscious, talking to people, and in good spirits. He's actually 18-year-old, but they kept calling him the 17-year-old. The kid with the black face paint that jumped in the ring first to try and pull Raja off before the epic Doug Malo could jump in. He came on this podcast. Oh, here it is right here, actually. He came on and talked about his experience with it, and said that he talked to him since he's woken up, and basically he asked him, like, how are you doing? Is everything okay? And Psycho Stu asked the 17-year-old, who is actually 18, but Psycho Stu asked him if he was all right, and he was like, why the hell are you asking me that? You're the one who got beaten almost to death. So, like...
Oh,
Yeah.
But it just shows these guys care about each other. Brotherhood.
Yeah, hold on a second. I think I can squeeze something out of this.
Okay.
Raja's been arrested. Now, any updates on any
Lactose-free milk doesn't spoil. Is that how that works? I don't know. I'm not a coward who drinks lactose-free milk.
inside info?
Oh, you're lactose intolerant? Have you ever tried tolerating it?
Any court hearings, you'll hear it here first. We're absolutely going to continue to milk this. People saying like, oh, you're making videos to get views, to make money. Well, why the fuck else? Like,
The people that have told me this too, like, oh, you're making money off of this. One, I was directly involved in it. Two, I got stitches that nobody paid for. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't ask for any help. All the money that was raised and all the podcasts and everything went to Stu's GoFundMe, and at the end of the day, I was already getting into the YouTube sphere, doing stuff with you guys. So it's not like I wasn't on the interwebs.
It's not like you're doing something bad. There's people that make money off the internet for doing like terrible shit.
Yeah.
Like you just happen to blow up from a scenario and now you're just like, filming your life.
And I'm telling the truth.
Yeah,
And in all actuality, all I did was raise money for my friend, tell the truth, tell my side of the story from something that I was involved in. And then at the end of the day, too, I'm trying to find some type of, silver lining for people to put a focus on, so there's not a sphere of negativity wrapped around such a bad incident. Because all I want is for people to have a good mindset around this, or the best possible mindset that can be had from such a bad situation. I never want it to happen again. So in order to not have bad things happen again, you have to break them down into details of how they get there so people can learn how not to do that.
Honestly, out of this whole situation, I'm just glad that the person who was the most involved, the person who stopped Raja, has been level-headed, because so many people have turned it into a more volatile situation, bringing in race and other dynamics that are just like unnecessary. Like, obviously there's a conversation that needs to be had about Rampage Jackson's parenting. Clearly, he hasn't been helping his son out enough with the mental processing that he's been dealing with, in terms of like his mother passing away and other things that he's probably feeling like he's lesser than. His dad hasn't been lifting him out of that, and that's obviously a conversation that could be had. But making that the only conversation, or making it a conversation about race, is just like, not only is it is it stupid, but it's like unproductive and just pointless, and literally is just more bitching and moaning on the internet.
Seems simple, but there was a lot of complexities that led to that terrible incident, and that's what we've been speaking on. So, suck it.
So with me and Tanner, it's like,
Oh shit, internet tough guys here. Everybody starts quaking. My boots. I'm out of them.
you're not going to insult us by telling us that we're trying to get views or make money. Like,
Pretty obvious.
I don't see how that's an insult at all. Like, that's exactly what we're trying to do, and we're going to keep doing it again and again. But in Doug's case, these cloud chasing comments, all these reaction channels were rushing to make videos when it happened. Like, why can't the one person who was directly involved in it, the one good guy in the whole scenario, why isn't he allowed to talk? But reaction channels can spam 40 more videos that day and talk about it. Like, it doesn't make any sense. So all of
No, it's not cool you guys are talking about this shit, bro. That's why I'm making a video about it, bro. That's why I'm making a stream about it. This shit ain't cool. I think the people that are complaining about that aspect, I mean, here's the thing. I guess it depends on what you define as milking it. Because, like, it's obviously news, so it's something to discuss. Milking it would be kind of what I'm saying, making it about something that it's not, just to keep trying to drill in points that are unnecessary to just gain money or clout or whatever. Hey, talking about this hasn't garnered me any clout. I just think it's interesting. I think it's a very interesting conversation, especially because it happened on Kick. And it's just another example of more degenerate shit happening on Kick that they just kind of go, well, we banned them. What else you want us to do? What else do you want us to do? Maybe don't, like, present yourself as the anything goes platform and shit like this won't happen.
With that being said, a lot of you guys also inquired about wanting to support Doug in his wrestling journey. So he is actually making his in-ring debut at Championship Wrestling from Hollywood this upcoming Tuesday in Oxnard, California.
Yes.
And me and Tanner are actually going to be there. So if you guys want to come meet us,
Pull up.
Yeah.
everybody who was saying we can't wait to support Doug's in-ring debut, well, do what you say you're going to do this Tuesday.
Also, I give a lot of free hats away. At every show I go to, I give away free hats. I made 30 hats for this next show, and I'm giving them all away for free.
I want a hat.
30 free epic hats. I got you.
Yeah, I want to have.
Yeah, I got you.
I want to hijack this fucking show.
Yeah.
Like, just with Doug chants.
Epic chance. Epic chance.
Yeah.
Epic. It's always epic. If people start calling Doug, that's a different guy.
How about instead of this is awesome, this is epic?
Yeah, that would be perfect. Honestly, I would hijack the entire show. I think I would run out to you guys and drink a beer with you guys at your table and go back to the ring.
We'll have one ready.
Yeah. And I don't drink anymore. And when I do, it's very rare. So that would be a rare moment. It'd be so fun.
It'll be alcoholic free.
Yeah.
We'll link everything in the description box, pin comment. Also, every single week, we actually catch files together with Doug.
Yeah.
And
That is basically what, I think it's another channel. I think it's called like Scaling Up Catches or something, but they do predator catches.
our other friend Ian, the true hero in this whole story.
Well, if he would have been there.
He's not even here.
Shit, I feel kind of unsafe now.
Yeah.
Who knows what could happen now?
Yeah, honestly.
He's not here, so what would happen if he was here?
So yeah, we catch files every single week on our channel, Scaling Up Catches Official.
I knew it. But yeah, shout out them. They're talking about this stuff more and more. If they talk about it more, I might discuss what they talk about. But I'm also going to see if there's any more updates myself. Because like I said, this is just an interesting conversation to be had. But that is the newest update on the Raja Jackson situation.
So the
No RIP to Psycho Stu. He's back from the grave. But now we're going to listen to Trap More Ross. And this is a video from the Trap More Ross channel. David might have a second body. Actually, kind of a crazy title, I can't lie. But what we know so far from the case, he might go over all of this, but I just wanted to kind of talk about it first. What we know so far, I'm just reading this off an article. A decomposing body was found in a Tesla in an impound lot in Hollywood on September 8th, and they know that this Tesla belonged to David. Someone reported it abandoned in the Hollywood Hills, and police were called because workers reported a strong odor coming from the car. And I thought that part was crazy, because if they smelled something in the car, that means whoever drove the car at any point was smelling it every time they drove that car. The body was discovered. The Tesla had never been reported as stolen, but David has, or I guess they have concluded, I don't know if David has said it specifically, but they have concluded that it has been used by multiple parties, and I think that's partially the reason why he hasn't been placed in custody yet, as well as other people that are potentially involved. But the remains were so decomposed that it took authorities more than a week to identify the body, which they eventually identified as 15-year-old Celeste Rivas. Her and David both have matching tattoos and a bunch of other, conversations, messages on Discord, videos, a bunch of stuff linking them together has been found and discovered. The internet is a crazy place where they do all of the detective work and find out a lot of information. David initially decided to continue his world tour while cooperating with the investigation, but he canceled the remaining of the tour on Wednesday. An unreleased love song written by David references someone by the name of Celeste in the unfinished title and twice in the lyrics. Police have raided a home connected to David as they continue the investigation. I'm pretty sure that that house also wasn't owned by David, but they think that he had been staying there. But yes, that Scream soundbite is really funny. It's more like horror than celebratory. I feel like it's a little bit of both, and that's why it works so well. Because if I do it either or, it's like, to me, it's like a perfect infatuated scream, like if you really love something or if you're really afraid. The reason it works as the really happy is because there's a few woos in there if you listen closely. David Lunch, yes, you're so right. No, but yes, it's rapper David, or I keep saying rapper. I just say that about every artist now because that's like basically what every artist is. Singer, he's a singer. This guy. In the back of my mind, you died. It all kind of has a different meaning now, you know what I mean? Kind of crazy stuff. But yes, this video by Trapmore Ross is David might have a second body. I'll give it a thumbs up for now, but let's see if that stays.
So the David situation just keeps getting darker, and some new stuff has been circulating over the last couple of days that, I'm not gonna lie, it sounds like other people might have been in danger based on what was going on with David and this young underage girl Celeste. Okay, it's very strange, it's very spooky, and based on a couple of messages that have been circulating, it does sound like there's a possibility that there could be another victim. Another person might have lost their life having been tangled up in this twisted love triangle. And as I said before, this...
Just having David look at him off to the side right here the whole time, I don't think I can deal with this. We gotta... Not interested. There we go.
It just keeps getting sadder and sadder. Now, if you saw the video that I posted yesterday, I did a full 2-hour breakdown about the whole situation. I really couldn't believe what I was seeing. I did this video yesterday, alright? David hid clues about murder in every song. I didn't intend for this originally to be 2 hours, but I just kept finding facts. I kept finding info. I kept finding lyrics and music videos that were extremely alarming. And, you know, you guys have kind of given your response on this. I think everybody is just in shock and disbelief over what's going on. This comments, put him in J4IL. Put D4vd in J4IL, saying, if you're hanging out with a freshly out of elementary school child as someone who's in college, university, you are suspect. It says his song lyrics read like poems from a 14-year-old emo kid who got grounded. People saying they'd never heard of him. The man was singing PDF jingles. And this is what I'm going to talk to you about today. It says her brother said in a chat that he said he was waiting till she turned 18 to marry her. I just don't understand how so many people knew and didn't question it or do anything. Now, it's interesting that he would say that because there's this image that's been going around on Reddit. Because I don't know if this has been posted yet, but here's a screenshot from one of Celeste's stories. Now, that's her left hand and that's her ring finger. This is an engagement ring, okay? This is an engagement ring. I guess this would have...
I just don't... He's at the very least connected to her death in some way because, I mean, just everything. It's just so... She went missing and then was found dead in a car that was his. And then, yes, they were hanging out, but, like, how I don't understand how anybody's being like, he didn't do it, it wasn't him. I keep seeing people saying that, and I'm like, are you just trolling? Are you literally just trolling? Aw, Dad hasn't used the bucket yet. Is he still dancing?
allegedly been her Finstagram account, and she's showing off a big rock. She's showing off an engagement ring with love hearts. She's out for lunch or dinner or a smoothie or something with David, right? We recognize that little spot.
It looks like they put a boba straw into a regular drink, and that is just going to like be way too... The water pressure is going to be crazy.
Star on his head from from the last video. He'd appeared. It's in the video thumbnail. It's the same image of him with the little star on his head. Are those spots like zit stickers? I'll be using those. I got the blue ones. I definitely can't be rocking the black ones now. That's a bad look. But yeah, people are saying that this is an engagement ring. Okay, so this is essentially...
No, yeah, that's the part I thought was crazy, is that people did like the math and figured out that they originally got together when she was 11. Because people were saying, oh, it's when she was 13. Yet still crazy. I don't know why that would even be any better, but just it going back, like it just keeps going younger and younger. It's like the next thing they're gonna be like, oh, he actually knew her when she was 8 years old. I'm like, what is going on? I just don't see how anybody associated with him... I don't get how anybody was okay with this. They should all be investigated in some way or another. Like, honestly.
Something that's been going around. I did touch on this in the last video, but I didn't really have time. There was a whole bunch of stuff I didn't even get a chance to get to. But, trigger warning, okay? I'm making this video for documentary journalistic purposes, okay? This is a story in the public interest. It's a public story, and I just need to give you guys a warning, okay? I don't intend to disrespect or put down or belittle any of the situations that I'll be covering in this video. It's a very serious topic. It's very important that I warn you that we're going to be talking about very triggering themes like SA, an underage girl seemingly being groomed, and very nefarious activities. So, if that's not for you, if that's something that's going to be triggering for you, don't watch the rest of this. But essentially, this post is going around that Celeste's brother speaks.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that she was found after her 15th birthday, so she definitely died before that. I guess, yeah, everybody's saying it. They're just going off of the numbers and not thinking about the actual timeline of what would have happened. I mean, with her being so decomposed too, like, do they know how? I guess they might not have released that yet, but they might know how long she had been dead for. I'd assume they would at this point, at least.
Up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Whole chat attached, and they're saying that this is her brother. All right, this is a screenshot of something that I touched on in the last video. Celeste's brother speaks up and reveals that David did kill his sister. Okay, and this is a chat. Somebody says, dude, why does David follow you? All respect to your sister, and I hate how shitty people are being. Was it really him, Jesus, all love, man? He replied, yes, it was him, because he found my account out of nowhere and followed me. This dude says, fuck. Well, he has it coming. That's wild to just randomly... did you ever even talk to him? I met him once in person. She says, something, being with him, like, was she living with him? All of this shit's so confusing and disgusting. And he replies, I knew and I went to the police about it, but they said lack of evidence, so it was waved off. They responded, bullshit. Now that there's 1,000 people backing you up, that won't happen again. But if they had listened... He says, even if they don't do anything, they haven't even done anything towards him. And they reply, that's how it is with celebrities. Just look at fucking Diddy. They don't do shit. He says, I know it effing sucks. Effing crazy that people suffer for it. How long has she been gone? And he replied, dead. And he says 2 weeks. Now, this might have been a big reveal. I don't know if this is necessarily accurate.
I guess.
There's been a lot of speculation over how long the body had been left in that trunk. You know, trigger warning, but the body had been cut up, wrapped in plastic, and it had been severely decomposed. That's what the police said. Now, he's saying 2 weeks. That could be information that's been revealed to the family privately to say that the body was decomposed and she would have passed away 2 weeks ago. Or maybe he knows, you know, maybe she stopped replying 2 weeks ago. Maybe they last heard from her 2 weeks ago. Maybe that's an indication of she was active until 2 weeks ago, but we don't know for sure. So the person replies, says, damn, that soon? People have been saying like a month. The dude's a weirdo. His songs all have weird messages and imagery. He says, what do you think happened? Like he didn't just want her to expose him being with her? The brother replies, I don't know. He says, damn, was your sister like in love with him and choosing to stay? I'm guessing that it was all just him manipulating her. He said, yeah, she was always saying that he was waiting till she was 18 to get married and stuff like that. He replied, effing sick. What's crazy about all those people in his circle who knew and say stuff? I saw one guy did get sued by something pushing. He said, dog, what? I never knew that. My sister wouldn't say anything ever. He says, dude, there's so much stuff in the Discord that he has. He says, what the F? There's a Discord? And he says, yeah, it was just his fan Discord and stuff. I wasn't in it, obviously, but from what I know, he was decently active in it. And some screenshots and screen recordings were posted today and yesterday after the news showed one guy saying this. And basically, this is the post from the Discord. Somebody commented that would drop the song about the missing girl, Celeste Rivas. This was all the way back in August 2024. And he says, what the F? No way, dude. Please send me more if you know. He says, I got you, bro. Let me find everything that's been posted for you. That's why I said so many people were...
This is a really... Like, I'm inclined to believe it based on, like, they're saying that he followed him, and just this conversation is kind of crazy that he would continue this back and forth with somebody like this.
After David now.
But I guess, I mean, he's giving him a lot more information that he didn't have either, so it's kind of mutually beneficial in that regard.
They have found so much evidence to back this stuff up. The brother replies, dude, I never knew this stuff. And then this random guy says, only a small number of people were aware until today. The brother replied, I wish I could have known. I could have used this. And the dude replies, you don't have your sister added on Discord, right? The bro replies, I don't even have Discord.
I'm sorry, but the way he just went, bro replies.
Have your sister added on Discord, right? Bro replies, I don't even have Discord. And then this dude says, yeah, I was just seeing because someone had a screenshot of her account, supposedly. And then this guy replies, said, this is what I got. He sends all the Discord screenshots, bunch of lyrics, other posts, other comments, sends it all to the brother. He said, are those photos something? I don't know if that says those photos real or those photos in here. And that song was an unreleased David song. And he's posting all of this stuff. Here's the video proving those messages are real. And he replies, are those photos of her? He says, yes. Do you know of any of your sister's Instagram accounts? There were some messages people said was her messaging friends, but not really confirmed yet. And then he sends these screenshots, which, look, these are screenshots from a leaked conversation with Celeste and a friend where she appears to admit to having relations with David, all right? And then the brother sends a bunch of pictures of Celeste saying, that's my sister, dog. That's the same girl. And he says, F, it is. And he says, you think this is real? And now this is where it gets crazy and we start talking about another victim. Yes, do you think this is real? These are the chat logs, okay? And look, I don't know if it's safe to show you this in this video. I didn't show it to you in the last video, but I'm gonna go out on a limb here and I'm gonna show you these messages, okay? Trigger warning. These are very dark, but I'm just gonna read these to you and I'm gonna try and redact anything super messed up, okay? But this is allegedly a set of messages between Celeste and a friend. The friend says, I'm just gonna check up on you. Celeste says, I don't want to talk to anyone. The friend says, that's it. And she says, okay, yes, of course. And the friend says, but you have to swear you're going to stay safe. Are you still going to talk to David or go back with him? Because I don't want to get you into any more trouble with him. Celeste replies, I'm safe. No, I'm not. The friend says, okay, I love you. I'll text you in about a week. Don't delete Insta. Celeste replies, love you too, and won't. And now the next set of messages, trigger warning, these do appear to... I don't even want to show this. Yeah. Look, can I show this? Like, can I even talk about this? I'm not going to add any extra context. I'm just going to very quickly breeze through this, okay? The friend says, I made it. And they say it can bleed and not bleed during stuff because you probably did it when you were younger. I didn't because I wasn't ready. Someone says, you said you bead? And he says, what? And she says, Celeste says, I thought I did, but I just got my pee. I only bead with David. The person says, And then this guy says, Celeste says, with Gus, I was just drunk and did it because he got mad at me the first time for not having S with him. So that chat appears to reveal that the girl Celeste may have had relations with another person by the name.
That did just make me like... That sent like a chill through me a bit. Just the whole thing is... You know, it sucks to say like more people should have stepped in and stuff like that because it feels, you know, to the people that did try, it feels sad for them more than anything because you don't want to just say that, oh, they should have done more. But it just truly is just so sad how much was like apparent to all the people that were around, that was like relevant to where they were having these questions of like being afraid of David and her and the relationship that they had. Oh, it's just actually like... And the fact that the police did nothing to start when the brother initially went to them is also just insane and just shows like the lack of effort that's put in any like police force. And like, it's just crazy. It doesn't make any sense. Actually insane.
Name of Gus, right? And then that's where we come back to this comment. Okay, so those screenshots that I just breezed through are here, and they were sent to this person who's allegedly Celeste's brother, and they say, "Do you think this is real?" And the alleged brother replies, "Yes, I do. I know who Gus is. He's dead." And the person asks, "What happened?" And they say, "He got shot up, dead." And then the comment says, "You think by David or just some other stuff?" Now, I think I saw an extended version of this where he seemed to reply that it was some other stuff. Yeah, so here's the last part of that message is, he said, "You think it was a shot by David or just some other stuff?" And the guy just very ominously says, "Other stuff." And then that's the end of the conversation. They say, okay, now look, I'm not going to lie to you. This is all sounding a bit too suspicious. You're telling me that this Gus guy, this other guy, you've got a love triangle. These two guys are fighting over this young ting, this underage person.
Don't use slang when talking about this, dog. I know I just use slang when talking to you, but don't call her a young ting. That's crazy.
All right, and this guy Gus is apparently getting his thing on. They're having some kind of argument. Someone was mad because she said he was mad because I didn't want to have a with him. Twisted. Absolutely.
No, exactly. Yeah. Plus, when you deal with CSA, you normalize it in your mind. So the people in her life letting it happen and acting like it's fine was definitely not great. And I think part of that comes from people wanting to, you know what I mean? It's like you don't want to. It's like if someone had an experience that they don't see as bad, you don't all of a sudden want to put this like thought in their brain that it was even more like, you know what I mean? You don't want to intensify a situation that hasn't already started like brewing up. But the whole thing is in those situations, it is definitely a necessary conversation. Like you gotta kind of, you yourself have to bite the bullet and deal with that person kind of maybe hating you or being upset with you, and I don't know, and being like more overtly against the situation that they might be a part of. Because like I'm saying, like I remember when I was in high school, someone had told me that there was apparently like this 20-something-year-old guy that was dating like I think they were 14 or something, And I was like, dude, like, I don't understand. And anybody that is young, if anybody is like older than you that's trying to get at you, the first thing you always have to ask yourself is, like, why haven't they made connections with people their own age? And I feel like that goes like across the board at any age. Like that's most relevant in times like high school and college, but even beyond, like people do look at, like at the very least, you could think of them as like mentally regressed, like just not advanced enough. It's just, yeah, the whole thing is just sad on every level. Yeah, it's hard when people don't view their own trauma as trauma and they end up invalidating other people's trauma.
Completely twisted. Okay, so it sounds like
Yeah, I was a teenager. I was like, man, they only want the older guys. When I was in seventh grade, there was a girl in my seventh grade class that apparently had gotten together with a senior in high school, and I was like, it genuinely like. And I remember at the time, I remember just being straight up like, that's crazy and wrong, and that guy is disgusting and a horrible person. And I think I told her that too, because I was just like, I don't care. Oh no, you're mad at me? So what? Okay.
like this Gus guy is dead, all right? And we're waiting for more information to come out about this Gus guy. I don't know who this Gus guy is. I don't know what this is all about. But in the midst of that, we're beginning to see more and more little tidbits of evidence come out that are just even more and more damning. So another post has been going around on the David subreddit saying David was wearing her bracelets. That's a picture of him with some bracelets on, and people are saying it's the same bracelets that Celeste had on in this picture. Now, I personally, I'm finding it hard to see that, but it kind of does look like the pink, the little pink joint that's going on here. I don't know
I thought that was me. I think it was his computer.
if it's exactly the same one, but it does look very similar. The kind of hues look a bit similar. Now, one thing that I find a little bit...
Can someone too long didn't read for me? I'm not trying to be rude. Basically, this car, this Tesla, belongs to the singer David. In the front trunk, was found the deceased remains, partially, I guess, just like dismembered. And so badly decomposed that the police took 2 weeks to even identify who it was.
It's strange.
But the singer is very famous. He's very popular on TikTok as well. But yeah, the whole thing is... I mean, I think that it's very crazy how much he's put into his songs. Where it's like, if you didn't have anything to do with this, bro, this is the craziest coincidence in all of history. Like, actually.
And I've been trying to find some evidence to this, but I seem to remember when the news first broke, I thought that I'd seen a couple of articles basically saying that another body was found. You know, if we're talking about this alleged person called Gus that was killed, that sounds like a man. Sounds like a man's name, right? But I did remember this, and I haven't been able to find anybody else talking about this, and maybe there's no connection, but I did see at the time articles going around that suggested 2 women were found in cars being investigated as homicides. Now, it seemed, I don't know whether this was 2 unrelated situations, or whether it's the same situation, or whether maybe they initially thought there were 2 bodies because of the way that, you know, sadly the body...
This is clearly 2 different things, bro. Details of remains of one of 2 women who were discovered in vehicles in 2 tow yards, 2 separate tow yards. What are you talking about?
These were separated, if that makes sense.
It literally says 2 tow yards. It is crazy that 2 different tow yards had 2 different dead bodies in them. But I think that means that they should also... I guess they don't have the time to check. They probably also don't have the authority to check vehicles before they tow them, but I don't know. That's crazy.
But it says the LA County Medical Examiner has released new details on the remains of one of 2 women who were discovered in vehicles at 2 tow yards this week. Both deaths are investigated as homicides. One woman's remains were discovered Monday when police responded to the Hollywood tow on Mansfield Avenue. Someone smelled a foul odor coming from the front trunk of the vehicle, and detectives investigated possible human remains. We learned about that car. The descendant was found severely decomposed inside a vehicle. She appeared.
This is the part I was confused about. Initially, the remains. I'm skipping ahead. I guess I'll wait for him. But it said that they initially found a head and torso, but then were able to identify it based on a tattoo on her arm or on her hand.
To have been deceased inside the vehicle for an extended period of time before being found. We were unable at the time to examine the age or ethnicity. Initially, the remains were described as a head and torso. The owner of the vehicle was identified as David. And here's what's interesting, right? The body of a second woman was found Tuesday.
Yeah, I guess the reason they're calling her a woman, yeah, she was a little girl, actually just a child. But the reason they're doing that is for this article's purpose of just saying two women. They're doing it for simplicity's sake, which is honestly kind of disgusting in itself. Because they both deserve, at least a full sentence, at least the full, correct wording.
South Los Angeles, after family members filed a missing persons report. The family had tracked a woman to a scorched Honda Civic that was being held on a tow yard at West Gage Avenue. The tow yard operator called LAPD and said family members wanted to look at the car. Investigators rushed to the scene and found the woman's partially burned body in the trunk. The car had been towed onto the lot Sunday from the 6800 block of South Flower Street. The vehicle had been extinguished by LA City Fire, but firefighters never checked in the car and didn't see the woman's remains. So, look, it's not necessary that these two are connected. I think this could have been a coincidence. When the first reporting came out and they were talking about two bodies, I wasn't sure if it was two bodies in the same car, two bodies in different car, maybe two cars towed from the same spot. It looks like these are two separate things. But it's just so bizarre. And I think the thing about this Gus guy, when we find out more about him, I think that's going to be very revealing. So there's still been a lot of discussion about the potential motive. And some people have been saying that there's rumors that Celeste might have actually been pregnant at the time of her passing, and who knows, could that have, if that was the case, could that have been David's baby? Could it have been Gus's baby? Who knows how twisted this love triangle could really get at this point, right? But these posts have been going around and people are suggesting that maybe the messages infer that she could have been pregnant at the time. So this is David says, I'll join the group chat with wifey and give y'all the story time. And it says me and deleted user, this is David, got a kid on the way. And then this is a conversation, somebody saying, basically, David, are you happily married or single? And basically, they're trying to find out what the relationship status is with him. And this deleted user, I think it's possible that this was Celeste. It's possible, all right? Atting David in the chat amid those rumors. People talking about kid on the way. That was a heart-stopping moment to read. Jesus Christ. Bruh. Double homicide. It's from 2024. She died 25 and couldn't have been pregnant. The last confirmed spotting of her was July 2024. The same month, both she and David mentioned pregnancy in Discord. She was allegedly alive until July 2025, meaning she was out of the public eye for an entire year. It's possible she did actually have a kid, which is scary as hell. And people are saying, even if it's a joke, making a joke about having a kid with a 13-year-old at 19 is insane. This guy really is worse than the Joker. People saying deleted user, though. It seems like other screen grabs still show her name. Saying yes, meaning she had multiple Discords just like on Instagram, or this is disgustingly referring to another girl. And it's saying the pregnancy announcement was 2024, so if that was about Celeste, she would have given birth by now. If it's true, then it's possible she had an abortion or miscarriage. She was just a child herself. Having a baby, oh boy, this is so effed. If she was pregnant then, she would have gave birth already. Saying, poor girl, this is so sad. She thought she was living it up. Sometimes teenagers need to listen to their parents. She left multiple times to be with this punk-ass man. Not putting blame on her, but sometimes children do need to follow rules and listen to the adults in their lives and not behave in such rebellious ways. Again, I'm not blaming her, so please don't come for me. May she rest well. People saying she couldn't have gotten an abortion, though. If a 14-year-old showed up to a clinic with a 20-year-old, they would most definitely contact the authorities, especially if they recognized Celeste was a missing child on the run. That's facts. That's facts, right? Some people are saying that these screenshots could be fake, turning darker by the minute. I'm telling you.
Well, I mean, they don't have to necessarily say it's the boyfriend. It depends on who takes her, right? Like if she had another, like a girl taker or something, then they could just be like, "This is my cousin. We're friends. Whatever."
Right? Some people are saying that these screenshots could be fake, turning darker by the minute. I'm telling you, he's a sicko and he can't erase all of his breadcrumbs. The investigators are busy. All right? He was saying, I highly doubt she was ever pregnant. She probably just wanted to find a way to go see someone to ask for help. It happens all the times for victims. Okay. People saying, would you rather have dinner with David or King Von? That's crazy. Right? So this guy says, not sure if there's lots of proof of her wanting to be out other than one tweet where he says you wanted to be with your mum and sister, but this couldn't happen. Okay, actually typing that out, maybe you're right. Just saying that for a lot of it seems like he was manipulating her to be dependent on him to the point that she saw herself as just his girlfriend outside of the context of her being a child. Not defending him and don't mean to make it sound that way. I just think she probably never anticipated or had the mental maturity or age to understand just how much danger she was in. May she rest in peace, honestly. I do think she could have been pregnant potentially at some point or when he killed her. Having a baby with a 14-year-old is not something you can really hide, but murder was not the logical solution. Bro was a certified serial killer psychopath. Statistically, the most dangerous time for a woman with an abusive partner is during pregnancy, so I'm really thinking that's what happened. So look, this situation is so dark. I'm not sure where this is going to go. I think everybody is...
Yeah, blaming her by saying she just didn't listen to her parents is crazy. There's almost no way anyone does what she does if they are raised in a healthy environment. Yeah, I mean, that, and also, like, she was reported missing. They clearly, like, didn't just, like, let her, like... You know what I mean? There was like an effort put forward. But it's clear that, yeah, like the environment itself was something she was trying to avoid. And who's to know if that's completely justified or if she was being manipulated even more so by him and coerced to come, because just like I'm saying, like every message that's been leaked, every conversation that she seems to have is like kind of depressing. It's sad. It's like talking about like not liking not even not liking it, but like the position that she's in the relationship and stuff. It's weird, and it's a lot, not just for like someone to deal with, but like especially for a child. So I don't know, it is just crazy. I don't get the extra speculation that needs to be had though about if she was pregnant or all this stuff. It's kind of unnecessary on some level. Because at the end of the day, she was just a child that was murdered. So I think that's the part that's important. Obviously, what he did to her as well does matter on some level, and will come out. But I think first it's like figuring out how she died before we start adding on other caveats and extra, extra stuff.
Waiting for an arrest to be made. A lot of people are pointing the finger at David, thinking that he's about to get arrested. We saw in the last video he was allegedly cooperating with authorities in the investigation. I'm seeing other comments on Reddit, people saying no, he's not cooperating, he's actually lawyered up and is refusing to talk. These are just rumors that I'm seeing floating around. Can't give you the absolute 100% truth at this stage. But what I do know is that this is a huge story. This is going to keep developing, and whether an arrest is made, whether something else happens, whether a final conclusion is reached before justice can be delivered, I think we're going to find out soon. But it's really sad. We're hoping to see justice for Celeste, however that looks. We're hoping to find out what happened to this Gus guy. I'm very curious about who this Gus guy is. So we're going to find out. I'm going to keep you guys informed. Any updates I will have for you on this channel. I appreciate you all for watching and following along. If you want to get all of the backstory about all of the self-snitching that David did in all of his music, damn near left a whole bunch of breadcrumbs and clues. Go and watch my 2-hour breakdown that I put out yesterday. I basically broke down every lyric, every music video that he ever dropped, and it is so dark. It's unbelievable what this guy was putting out there. This is wild. I'll keep you guys updated on everything that happened, everything that comes out. Rest in peace, Celeste. I'll catch you in the next up.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and follow this more. It genuinely is just so depressing because it's like it, and then the saddest thing I think is that it's more common than you would imagine, and the only reason it's popular is because it's attached to this large artist, and since it's attached to a singer, it's like obviously going to be more in the cultural zeitgeist. But I'll probably keep. It really is just depressing at the end of the day. But we got through it. We talked about it. I do think that the speculation, like I was saying, is somewhat unnecessary. But I do think that this is probably a bit more
Today's video
interesting. But I'm not going to watch this right now. I do have a gaming stream I'm going to do later if anybody's interested. This was just a quick little one. We're trying to jump on for an hour or two here and there every once in a while. I appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember to like and subscribe if you haven't already. And yeah, I'm going to try and do more streams like this, here and there, throwing them in, try and just have some fun talking about some stuff that's super depressing. But, we do what we can, and I appreciate everybody that stopped in here. Again, like and subscribe if you haven't already. This is Captain Quasar signing off. Rip Celeste Rivas. Very true. Oh, I meant to read this. I ran away from my family problems, moved 400 miles away, and stopped answering most calls. Which, isn't mature, but it sure is peaceful. Honestly, I think that that's more than mature. Stream for another 24 minutes to raid you. What are you doing tonight, Alex? Here, I'll take a look. Let's see what Alex is doing. Oh no, the delay. The delay got me. I'm sorry, Alex. Oh, you're playing some games too? I think, can I raid you before you've started? Let's check. Let's try. Probably not. Redirect? Oop, don't redirect to my own channel. Oh, I can. There we go. Save. Redirect. Everybody go check out Alex. If you're gonna wait for his stream, go check out his new videos that he dropped, including the interview with me and how he's suing the H3 podcast. All good stuff. What? React to something funny to lighten the mood. Here, I'll show one thing I have for something funny. You think I can react for 24 minutes? I did do the redirect. It should do it once the stream stops. Oh, where is it? Do I not have it over here? I know I have it saved in here somewhere. There's a song in here I was gonna... Oh. The Fantastic Adventures of Sex Dick OST. Let's hope that doesn't get a copyright claim. Just for that quick second. What other videos do I have in here? McDonald's Pakistan ads. Oh, let me check in on Dad. You're so right. Nathan Barnett. You're so right. Let's see what he's doing. Honestly, I give him major props. Doing this for so long is actually crazy. He's playing his videos and stuff, doing stuff in the background. I'm surprised he's kept a pretty decent, like a pretty sizable audience this entire time. It's been around 200 plus, 200 to 300. I've seen it been going between, which is honestly very impressive for this kind of simplistic stream where it's impressive that he's dancing for so long, but all he's doing is just playing his videos while dancing. Who would have thunk? He just busts mad moves.
What to do is I have to let the little fuzzy guy outside, but I don't want to stop moving and dancing, so I'm going to do mobile camera.
See, I don't want to watch too much of him while he's live, because honestly, AB did do that to Girl with a Microphone. He did raid her after he was done, but he was watching her for a good minute while she was just live, and I just thought, come on, man. People could be over in her chat. I checked in once to ask about the bucket, but called him Nathan by mistake, and he flamed me. I mean, it's kind of understandable, right? How dare you get his name wrong? How dare you treat him like that? Despicable. Did I just close that? Oh, I think I did. I'm trying to think of what other cool videos I have. Have you ever seen we didn't actually watch the Pakistan ads, so we can watch that.
और चलकर हैप्पी मील खाए और मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा गेम्स लाए टेल सॉकर सोनिक स्केटबोर्ड रोग एंड एमी टेनिस
That is not Amy in the slightest.
रोग एंड एमी टेनिस
And wait.
skateboard
So that's Amy, but you're saying that's supposed to be Rouge?
and Emmy Dennis.
And this is supposed to be Rouge. This looks terrible. This is Rouge the Bat? I don't see it. This is Rouge the Rat.
Dream puff flower catch. Shadow basketball. Knuckles baseball. जी भरकर फिर खेलें, खूब हल्ला गुल्ला मचाएं और दोस्तों को भी बतलाएं। चलो चलकर हैप्पी मील खाएं। चलो चले मैकडॉनल्ड से सेगा गेम्स लाएं।
I'm loving it.
He doesn't like it. I'm actually loving these.
Let's go to McDonald's. La 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 la. अपने दोस्त हैं वहाँ सब. La 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 la. Ronald, Hamburglar, Birdie और Grimace मिले हर हैप्पी मील के साथ. हर हफ्ते नया प्लेटो टॉय. La 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 la. Let's go to McDonald's.
These songs are good. What do you mean? It's not subtle. I'm just actually entertained. Ooh, this one has Crash Bandicoot, my favorite. Is this Neo Cortex? Oh my god. These are blasting, I have to say.
McDonald's चलकर मॉल जुड़ाए, चलकर हैप्पी मील खाए, मजे मजे के क्रैश बैंडिकूट साथ लाए, दोस्तों को साथ खिलाए,
This Dr. Neo Cortex is actually horrifying. Why is his face so realistic? He looks too human.
कूदे और गाए, अरे छुट्टियों के दिन है.
I'm actually horrified by that one.
अम्मी हमें ले जाना सिर्फ मैकडॉनल्ड्स ही है खाना. ना 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 ना. अपने सब दोस्तों को है बताना कि हर हैप्पी मील के साथ है पाना. मैक जस्टिस.
These ones are lame. This is just about some cars. I'm gonna skip ahead. I saw Hello Kitty. Here we go.
हेलो किटी ने मेकअप केस खोला. ओहो वो साथ में मेमो किट भी खोला. टिकट चेकर ने बोला टिकट प्लीज. हेलो किटी ने स्टैम्प पर लगी दिखाई तस्वीर और लिपस्टिक पेन से लिख दिखाएं ये सारे टॉय साथ ले आए हैप्पी मील बॉक्स खुला मैकडॉनल्ड
I think the rest are just McDonald Lands one. Or is this supposed to be like strawberry shortcake?
हाथों में हाथ डाले स्ट्रॉबेरी शॉट केक चले जंगल में पिकनिक मनाने रास्ता कहीं खो बैठे फ्लाइंग फन उड़े उन्हें तलाश करने फ्लाइंग मशीन को कहीं नजर न आए हेल्प बहुत चलाए कॉप्टर और प्लेन भी ढूंढ न पाए दोनों ने जब कैप्स हिलाए हेलीकॉप्टर पे चढ़कर कर रहे Hey kids, happy meal.
No, yeah, they should have extended the Hello Kitty one out. It was a little too short. Now, here's something that I found interesting when I first found this. Who remembers member berries from South Park? Member? Member Darth Vader? Member Chewbacca? Those are my favorite when they just start talking about Star Wars. But I feel like this is the original inspiration for member berries.
Because we're medicine. He might even eat us. No, 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 no. This is serious. Serious. We could make you delirious. Delirious. Use it on the healthy fear of us. Fear of us. Too much of us is dangerous. No, no, no. Doctors tell the pharmacy. Pharmacy. Types of pills that you will need. You will need. And he knows the harm that we can be. We can be. If we're not taken carefully. Oh, we're not candy.
Some kid wasn't paying attention to this video, like this PSA when it first came on, and they just like looked at their mom's medicine cabinet and went, "Oh, this is like those singing candies on the TV," and then ate a full bottle.
Even though we look so fine and dandy, when you're sick, we come in handy, but we're not candy.
They're not candy. Poison Control Center, Long Island Regional Poison Control Center. So true. I used to be obsessed with watching weird PSAs too. My favorite ones, it's not my favorite for any other reason that it's just insane, but there are these old PSAs that are basically just telling kids that all people that are homosexual are pedophiles. It is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I haven't found. I remember I looked for it a while back and I wasn't able to find it. I just kept finding other ones about telling people to not be gay, which was kind of funny. I was just like, damn, they were really scared of it back then. Like, people love nowadays to be like, homophobia is meaning you're scared of gay people. I'm not scared of gay people. And it's like, man, you might be. I feel like you think it's contagious or something. Remember when kids were eating Tide Pods? I remember when kids were eating Tide Pods.
I'm going to introduce you to...
Here we go. 107-year-old Irish farmer reflects on change in 1965. He's going to be like, I missed slavery. Why can't we bring it back? That's basically what this is. No, it's not actually what he says. But he talks about the changes. The changes in life.
I'm going to introduce you to a rather remarkable man. He's Mr. Michael Fitzpatrick from Kilkenny, Maynooth. Now, he started to draw the old age pension in 1927. And 7 years ago...
Why did I make this playlist? I have a bunch of playlists. Here, I'll give you the names of all my playlists. My playlists are titled things like A1, A2, A3, Music Archive, A4, Archive, A5, TV Archive, A6, City Footage Archive. I'm pretty sure this is TV Archive. This is stuff from, different TV channels. The original Office Space by Mike Judge, and I don't think I have Frog Baseball or whatever it's called, but I think that might be on YouTube. But there's a lot of stuff on here. The South Park original theme song, unreleased. Dumb host of Conservative Hotline gets nothing but prank calls. Bus beheading eyewitness. Louis Theroux meets the Black Israelites. When I was a kid, I thought the laundry detergent my mom bought was like a sugary drink. It just looks so sugary. You're not wrong.
Oh, he got the President's Bounty on his 100th birthday. Now, he's from County Clare. He came up from Clare in 1940 to a land commission farm in Maynooth, where he lives now. You have seen a lot of changes, Mr. Fitzpatrick, in farming. What would you say was the biggest change?
Well, machinery.
And what sort of a machine would you think that made the biggest impression?
Well, well, the reaper and binder is a great one, but by God, the one for cutting up the ground and throwing a crop is a powerful one too.
Well, you were saying at the time you saw the mowing machine first, it made a tremendous impression on you.
It did, because it didn't run, how could it be done at all?
What was the reaction of the people at that time to the mowing machine, Mr.
A
Fitzpatrick?
great many of them was.
Raoul makes a home? Sure, why not? What, you don't want to hear about Mr. Fitzpatrick?
So I got kicked out of my apartment. Because there's something called
I like the ski mask. I kind of want one. It's like a Spider-Man ski mask.
rent. But all my rent, I spent. Got a nice 2-story house. Better than stupid piece of junk apartment. Got my bed.
This is like the videos me and my friends made for class projects in high school.
Alright, we're going to Cali in my mobile home. Alright, so no more trees. Trees are no good. It's a good spot. Limited capabilities. Nothing bad can happen.
I just heard some neighbor laughing at him.
Oh man. Oh, I'm in too much pain to complain. Nighty-night.
Let's see, he has 7,000 subscribers. Has he kept this character up for 14 years? Oh no, he stopped 5 years ago. He kept it up for 9 years with, like, that. Man, that's dedication right there. He should have probably changed it up a little bit, at least with, like, the stylization. But you know, it happens. I never ate laundry detergent, but I did eat a candle off my 4th birthday cake because I thought it was made of icing sugar. I mean, I think most kids would think that. But I do have to hop off now. Sorry, Alex, you better get started. LMAO, I will be live soon. But I'm going to send all of you over there. I really do appreciate it. He should be starting soon. Let's force him. Everybody go in his chat and go, start now. Here, I'll start. Start the stream. I really do appreciate everybody that stopped in. Remember, like and subscribe if you haven't already. I'm going to try and do more of these streams, like I said before. And yeah, we'll keep having fun, keep looking at different stuff, doing what we do. Thanks so much for watching. This is Captain Quasar, signing off.